A system where everything is privatized is still this social system because you're sharing the roads through your system of economy, the ability to trade money. It doesn't matter if the currency and everything else was privatized. It's still a system. What makes it a system is that the relationships. The fact that everything is private doesn't change the fact that the shoes on your feet required hundreds of people to produce. Farming and mining raw resources, creating the materials and assembling them. If it's done by communists or pure capitalists, it's still a cooperation. You still, to do a system analysis, have to look at the whole system. So that's why I care how the distribution works. It's not an envy. I'm doing fine, thank you. It's not a principled thing of they shouldn't have that much money. It's not a fact that they're safe and they can never fall from their position. No, they can. The problem in the case that I brought up is a simple, statistical, undeniable, mathematical, economic fact. The wealthier are getting wealthier. We need an economic system that provides circulation. We need an organic approach. If your body is malnourished, the brain will in fact get nourishment before the rest. It's first in line. But notice when it has enough nourishment, it doesn't keep building it up to any amount. Why would the liver care if the brain wants extra nutrients? Well, as long as the liver has enough nutrients, it probably wouldn't. But the point at which it doesn't have sufficient nutrients becomes kind of a system. Why? Because the system's going to die. And that's what I'm talking about. I don't want the system. I think the system needs to be reformed. I don't want it to die. I want it to evolve. Now, maybe it has to have these revolutions and turnover. I think the way it's built right now, it does need those. There's no other way that it can survive long term. But I see that eventually, maybe we can have a better system than just waiting until things get so shitty that the poor people turn to the religious fanatics and the gun fanatics and they all get together and kill a bunch of people and set the clock back a little bit until they have to do it again. I don't see the benefit of that. I don't think anybody that reads enough history could really see the benefit of that. It's blindness and tunnel vision that leads us to be okay with that. So that's my problem with the situation. It's not sustainable. I mean, what do you expect? That people are not going to have these revolutions because they should do it some other way? I mean, where do you get the idea that that's something you can expect? I think there's a moral imperative to behave that way. I'm impoverished and can't get money, but that's okay. Things are right. It doesn't matter the top 20% have 80% of the wealth and the bottom 80 have the other 20. Who cares? That's just, right is right. That's not how people are going to think. That's not how survival works. When you're looking at your starving kid, it's not even sensible to think that way. Something has to be done. And if it's something peaceful like I would do, being a very peaceful person, or something non-peaceful, again, it's going to have to be judged on its efficacy. Does it work? And this system has a real problem circulating the resources sufficiently. It promotes greed among people that already have enough. And that's simply the fact. And it has to be that it's a little bit harder. And as I said in my video, I don't support it's simple, let's just tax the people that have money. No, because that means some arbitrary person's going to decide what to tax, and they're going to try to set up all these incentives. I'd rather have some, natural way for this stuff to keep circulating. Now, can it happen? Yeah, I think so. The body is millions of individual cells, dozens, if not hundreds of organs. And it does it. It figures out a way to share the nutrients, even though a lot of those organs are way more important than some of the other organs to the whole survival. It figures out a way to do it. And as far as I know, I've never noticed any taxation in the body. I don't think the brain taxes the liver or vice versa. No, it's a distribution system. It has more to do with infrastructure. It has more to do with how you've designed your currency, how you've designed your markets, how you designed the way things are valued and distributed. You know, given a decent distribution system, you will have a decent distribution. Okay, so that's my answer. If you can make anything of it, then perhaps I will find out through you saying so.